this is Ken, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. All right, so we got a little bit of Soulland reloaded up again today. So let's go ahead and take a look. So we got the Soulbone event. This is going to be ending. So make sure that you guys do grab whatever you want in here. Really good stuff. They had some really nice stuff in here, as well as the actual these little beastie boys right here, the Devil Spider Soul Core. They're starting to give this. This is the first time I've seen those actually free. They're also in the actual check-in too. So if you did the login freebies, you should have got 15 just for logging in. But yeah, you definitely want to purchase them inside of the sale. And then of course all the other goody stuff. You know, extended soul bones, regular soul bones. That you use the regular ones for absorption. And I got a couple sets where we're using a Sea God set piece, and then a red rear, and then another got a green front and a Sea God rear. So you want to make sure that you do purchase, get these and purchase them inside of the sale as well, because they're in there as well. Super Money, don't forget to collect your diamonds that you earned over the weekend, of course. I get pretty good. It's usually between 500 and 700. I got 125 this time, so it's RNG, so it can be good sometimes, and sometimes it won't be too good actually. But I'll take 125 for just basically logging on and playing. The game is really how you earn the rewards for that particular event. So other than that, we've got the Master Forge. Not having a whole bunch of luck, but I have managed to hit 8. So I've managed to hit it 4 times. And this ends tomorrow, so you've still got a little bit of time. So I'll be forging again tomorrow, and then we'll make a decision after that. I'm actually leaning a little bit towards probably just going to go ahead and snatch up some SS plus shards, because I need to work on some divine skills. So I'll probably end up doing something along this lines, but I'll have to tally it out. If it's not going to be able to take me up a level, I might just go ahead and purchase some of the Spirit Core right here, and some of the Doomstones, so I can do the Inherits. These are also in the, got my eye on some of these Sea Gods as well. So there's a lot of stuff to do. I'm hoping to get some more. I'm hoping to hit this at least 2 or 3 more times. I hit it 3 times just 3 times, and then yesterday I did 1 time this morning. You get 2 each time you hit, so I've hit it 4 times. So that's what it was. So it spurts. Okay, so you get about 50 or so. If you refresh your Slaughter City and redo it, you'll get some more charcoal. You shouldn't have any trouble getting the water and the wood. Really not difficult. The big thing to get is the charcoal, and you get the charcoal buckets inside of here. So you can reset this 3 times on a daily basis. So you just basically reset it, restart it. Okay, buy that if you want to. Okay. And then you just one-click sweep it. I've already completed it to the max, which is 150 as the high as it goes. And this will automatically go through to 150, and you'll get some more charcoal. Not a lot of it, but usually enough to get you 15 to 20 more pools, combined with the regulars that you get. So you can conceivably get between 50 to 70 draws a day with this. So as you can see, you're not going to get a lot of charcoal inside of here. As you can see, I'm not getting... but you will get some. There's a piece right there. So yeah, so you can refresh this 3 times. It costs a little bit of diamonds, of course, but so you want to do that, and that's where you get your drews. Open up your things. I don't really see the need to open up any of these other chests unless you're short on ring enhancement. I mean, I'm not. I've got enough to take my rings up to 4. Okay, 4, red 4, which is as high as I can go at this point, until my level advances. But then, that'll get you that. So we're going to leave here, and that's the max goes up. It's 150 at this particular point. So what we'll do is, that'll give you more inside the forge. Okay, because really, when it comes right down to it, as you can see, the charcoal is. Or cold raw orange is what it's called, is the hardest thing to get. Okay, and then it's just a matter of doing it. But the PR is low, so you can hit it a lot of times, and you can hit it and not get it at all. Like the one day, first day I did it, I don't think I got any. I came back the second day, got it like 3 times. And I'm not going to get it. I think I hit it once today, and I'm not going to get it anymore. So, but yeah, so that's where you want to do it. And as you can see, it's really easy to get the stuff. As long as you play the game, you should. Okay. So that ends tomorrow, so you should be good with that. There is no other events up at this particular time. Make sure you finish the Stardew Sacrifice. You get some really nice rewards inside of there. Make sure you do Wrong Wrong Steve, of course. And we should be seeing. It's probably gonna be very end of the week. We might see Woo announced, and of course we'll then be able to get the shards for Seaguy Tank Sand. And we'll be, of course, ready to go to town on him, get as much as we can out of him. Pretty much want to see what I want to see is I want to see a large damage increase. One of the ways that I like to test that is within the sect. You go into your arena and just not your arena, your sect, and just do the boss, not the tyrant. But the Martial Soul tournament right here, this is exceedingly accurate. You will get roughly, each time you increase your BP, you'll see a little bit of a damage increase inside of here. Okay, so this is an excellent way to test out your BP because it's constant, meaning it's the same time. And generally, you might have to wait a few days because you want to, of course, get the opponent idle to be roughly the same. I mean, if it's a better, bigger opponent idle, you might do less damage, or more damage based on that. But you should be able to get something roughly around what your, a common set. And I've done it because I've got several levels for the boss and what I got average damage written down on my little cheat sheet here. So once I put him in, get him maxed out, I'll go in and then based on the level and how much damage I'll do, I'm able to tell whether or not I'm getting much more damage from him. More BP doesn't necessarily mean guaranteed more damage. It generally does, but not always. Like for instance with Wrong Wrong, damage increased, but it was not enough to be indicative of her giving me more damage. It was indicative enough of her boosting my stats and her keeping everybody alive till the end, which did not always happen against some of the higher sect bosses. But I'm hoping to see a really big setup with Seaguy, so we'll see a big, huge BP. I will, of course, I should be cracking 18. I would assume I'm at 1775 now, 1773 right now. I should be cracking 18 with him, okay? Because SS Plus, be able to pretty much max him out. It'll probably take a day or two to fully max him out because it's difficult to get in some of the soul rings for the lower levels. But I should be able to get 1800, maybe a little bit more. So we'll have to see. In that point, other than that, I'm really just focusing on my main two. We got the triple S's coming out, guys. So it's really, you really put us sort of in a kind of holding pattern. With the triple S's coming out, if you're able to obtain a triple S with the same amount of time and effort that we are to get our SS pluses, it's probably just going to be better to go with triple S's. So I'm really not, I'm focusing on my tank, which is red, and I'm focusing on Clear Sky since he's my most powerful. And I'm keeping those two buffed up. They're maxed right now, as high as they can go based on my level, with soul bones, with enhancements and everything. Wrong Wrong is right behind them. Okay, I'm not focusing on Rakasha BB Dog, even though she is an awesome character. But I just got a feeling that Seaguy Tank Sand is just going to be a little bit better. So it's either her or Clear Sky. Okay, I don't want. I would prefer to have a ranged attacker. Seaguy Tank Sand is going to be a little bit ranged. So the only person on my main team that would have to be Rakasha. So I stopped focusing on her. I could probably get my BP really close to 1800 right now if I just dumped everything that I had into BB Dong, but I've got all the mats saved up so that I can pretty much max out Tang San when he comes out. I've just heard so much OP about him, and if you look at his skill set, it's a given. I mean, 12,000% increase for an attack. I mean that's 12,000. I'm not 1,200 or 12%. That's 12,000%. So yeah, there's just things like that that just when you hear phrases like that, it's only going to do it once. Of course, it's only going to proc once. Of course, if it proc anymore, that'd be ridiculous. But he's probably going to clear anybody who's less than half health when he does that. So I just feel like, based on what I'm hearing from his actual skill set, based on what I've heard from some of the people who play it on the CN server, yeah, that he is the strong, and he should be. I mean, he is the main protagonist for the entire series. So, and I do encourage everyone to watch Soul Land because it's an excellent. Yes, it's got some language issues. Of course, you can tell that the translation is from someone not fluent speaking in English, but it's understandable. But it's very well drawn, and it's very exciting. Okay, it's got the funny quirks of any Chinese anime, as you know. So, but it's definitely something that you want to watch, and I think it'll give you a whole new appreciation for the actual game. But yeah, so that's where we're at. So hopefully we'll see that at the end of this week. We'll get him, ramp him up, get into 1800, see if he is really worth it. Then we got Wu, of course, and then of course Wu will be jumping right into the Triple S characters with good old Dai, our feckless tank slash attacker, who seems to he was our free to play character, and he in the anime he sort of got the raw end of the deal a lot of the time, because he was in melee range and he really wasn't. He was exceeding. He was pretty powerful, but it's just he was going up against the enemies were a lot more powerful than him, and he ended up taking a lot of damage. But he got a lot better towards the end. After the trials that they had at the island, he got a lot better. So I got a feeling we're going to see a pretty good character out of him. So we'll have to see. In terms of the other characters, Clear Sky and Asura Tang-Chan, they're roughly the same. Asura might be a little bit better until you get up to God 3, God 4. Then Clear Sky, the skill set and the skills that he get makes him much more powerful. So if you're unable, I've got Clear Sky up to God 4. So it's so he does maximum amount of damage. Doesn't die. He actually even needs very little healing for Wrong Wrong. Wrong Wrong spends most of her time keeping Ren alive, who really doesn't die much either. Really, none of my characters die anymore on the Treant or in the Soul Master tournament. Of course, the Tyrant inside of the sect, excuse me, is of course. Pretty much, it does pretty damaging, but I can still usually get to the 4th or 5th level. Okay. You've got multiple phases. I mean, go straight to attack. Then you go to the second one where they have the laser beam shooting across. Then it jumps and they have these eyes running across the complete screen. So you're having to constantly, you have to really pay attention to what you're doing. And you want to move your characters into different positions. It's always the same, so once you get it memorized, you know where to move your characters and which characters to move where to allow the longest survival. And you want to do it because you can get pretty good rewards for it. You get a lot of Doomstones, and Doomstones are very important as they are used for your main enlightenment on your soulbone. Once you get into the god status. So you need quite a few of them, and you can always get, that's a guaranteed place to get them. So you definitely want to make sure that you do that, and you also want to make sure that if they come up in any of the time limited exchange or the time limited buy, you'll usually see them in there. You want to make sure you get that. Also, you can get them inside of the arena section there. I think it's the Soto section. I might be wrong, but you can always get some there if you do your 10 sweeps. So you should be getting them there. So you should try to get a steady supply of Doomstones. You don't need them a lot at first because when you're doing the first level enhancements, uh, you know, it takes just the time essence, 4 times, and then on the fifth one, it takes time essence plus a handful of Doomstones. Well, after you get to God status, that changes, and then you just completely enlighten it with Doomstones. You no longer need the time essence, so it's best to get your hands on that. Um, because enlightenment is a pretty good, it's a pretty good way to get increases on your stuff. Let's take a look here. Let me see, make sure I get it right. It's enlightened. Yeah, this is it right here. Okay, so this is how you do it, and that's a lot of Doomstone. That's 55 Doomstone. Okay, so you're going to need a lot of Doomstone to do these enlightenments. Okay, so make sure make sure that you do, if you're early to the game, still working at your, focus on gathering as many Doomstones as possible. You will use them in the future. If you want to take your stuff up to God 4, which I have started to do with Clear Sky, got him up, and now I'm going to start working on Ren, as you can see. I just wait to gather my Doomstones up, but it does take a lot of them. So definitely want to focus on that as well. And we should be having another time limited buy here pretty soon. They do like to throw one out. But yeah, definitely you can get some inside of the time limited event, of course. If you go into this the time limited sale, they are right here. Okay, as you can see, I've already purchased them. Okay, so yeah, so that, as you can see, I purchased a lot of stuff. All this stuff is good, and I'll be purchasing some more before it closes here. I just wanted to make sure that, based on what, I didn't know what they were going to throw. I didn't know if they were going to throw another event or what. So I was just waiting to see exactly what they were going to throw. So I really don't need much in terms of soul bones. I've got my soul bones maxed out. Okay. These are probably, I do like to purchase these because these are still abused. Absorption is still a function inside of soul bones, so you can continue making S's and just absorb them. That's what I've been doing. I mean, I've got like my absorption up to like 6 on my on the extended soul bones because you use the absorption from regular S soul bone. So yeah, it's something that's good. I don't need breakthrough stones. I don't need any of the rings. I've got see the 5,000. So probably could use a little bit more of those, but there's nobody coming up until I think Ling Ling is like 3rd or 4th, the triple S for healing. So there's no use to focus on her at this particular time. So it is what it is. But definitely don't forget the Master Forge, and definitely make sure you get everything in time limited event for that. We'll of course have a new event popping up tomorrow. Not exactly sure what it's going to be at this point, but it'll be running tandem with the Master Forge. And then I assume once this next event ends, we might see the release for Wu. The best way to figure it out is, of course, when you see her. You should see here in the actual. You'll see her back here. She'll appear. She'll pop up, and then that's when you should know that she's becoming. So we've got Tang San. Like I say, when Wu drops, we'll get the last 20 for him. Okay, and then you'll see Wu in here, and then of course we'll do her event. Yeah, 6 weeks later we'll start seeing triple S's. So we'll have to see. Hopefully, the feel I'm getting so far, they've been pretty much the CN and the global servers have been accurate and in tune with each other. So if we can take that into consideration, then we should be able to obtain triple S's. But we'll have to see. There have been companies that have gotten into global and made things completely different and ruined a lot of their games doing that. So it seems most of the time nowadays, any of the newer games that come out, they try to keep things at least close to one another between the original Japanese or Chinese server or the Korean server based on the global server, which is what we're playing on here. But other than that, it's been pretty good and definitely enjoyable. So we'll do another video here in the next few days once and especially when when of course Wu drops, because we're definitely going to want to take a look at what she's got in terms of her skill set. And we'll go from there. All right. So that's all I wanted to do. Just make sure at Master Forge, and don't forget to grab the time limited event items for your soul bones, as that will be ending today. All right. So again, thanks a lot for watching. Remember to subscribe. Of course, click on the bell. You get notified each time I drop a video. Click a like and share, of course, and that just YouTube's algorithm just gets tickled pink when you do that. And they tend to go into Collective Fit and show the video to more people. So that's what we're looking for as always. All right, so this is Ken Rear, still coming at you in the corner, signing out.